Australia, the land of endless beaches, killer wildlife, and Vegemite. But before you can start experiencing all that, there's one pesky little thing you need to do first. Prepare. And that's where we come in. We're going to show you how to find your way through moving to Australia. Buckle up, it's going to be a wild ride. First things first, you're going to need to apply for that working holiday visa, Subclass 417. Of course, it's not as simple as just filling out a form and sending it in. It is a multi-step process, but as long as you've got all your documents ready, then it shouldn't be too painful. Step 1 is to gather all the documents you need. This includes your passport, a recent passport-sized photo of yourself, proof of funds to support yourself, a lot of people just use screenshots of their bank balance, and a completed Form 1208. And don't forget, you'll need to pay a non-refundable application fee. At the moment, this is 510 Australian dollars. Step 2 is to create an account on the Department of Home Affairs website. This is where you'll submit your application and track its progress. Filling out your application can take some time, but let me tell you, it's worth it. Step 3 then is to submit your application and wait. And sometimes wait a little bit more, and sometimes wait a little bit more than that. Whenever I submitted my application, it only took 11 minutes for it to be approved, but it can take up to 3 months. Thankfully though, while you're waiting, there are a few other steps that you can do to prepare for your move. Like opening a bank account. Now I know what you're thinking, but I'm just going to be there for a year, why do I need a bank account? Well my friend, it's so much easier to have your own account rather than constantly have to pay those pesky foreign transaction fees to your own bank. Plus it's a good way to establish credit in the country, and that can come in handy down the road if you plan to stay there for longer than a year. Remember, with your working holiday visa you can stay in Australia up to 3 years. The next step is to get yourself a tax file number or a TFN. This is basically like a social security number in the US or your national insurance number in the UK. You'll need it to work and to file taxes. You can apply for your TFN at the Australian Taxation Office website. Now, let's talk about travel insurance. It's not the most exciting thing to think about, but trust me, you'll thank me later. Accidents happen, and it's better to be safe than sorry. Plus, it can give you any peace of mind knowing that you're covered in case of any unexpected events. You'll need travel insurance for healthcare, and in case you maybe lose your phone or any other valuable items that you will have with you in Australia. Once you get there, you'll apply for Medicare, but that's something we can talk about in another video. Now, on to accommodation. A lot of people tend to book a hostel for at least the first few weeks they're there. It's a good way to meet other travellers, and it gives you a chance to figure out where you want to live long term. But don't wait too long to book. Hostels do fill up fast, especially during peak season. Whenever you're applying for things like your bank account, you can use the address of your first hostel as the address for your bank account. That way, you can apply for it in advance. Hostels are a good option for your time in Australia, and most cities and towns will have plenty of them for you to choose from. There are different hostels to suit different people, and you don't always have to stay in a shared room. You can book a private room too if you want to, although they will be more expensive than the shared dormitories. And now, you're ready to start planning your adventures. Australia is a big country with so much to explore, from the bustling cities like Sydney and Melbourne, to the rugged outback and the Great Barrier Reef. Make sure to research the different regions and what they have to offer so you can make the most of your time there. Remember, if you're on a working holiday visa and you want a second year, you'll have to complete 3 months of specified work. But that's a topic for another video. So there you have it, the ultimate guide to preparing for your move to Australia on a working holiday visa. It may seem overwhelming at first, but with a little bit of planning and preparation, you'll be ready to take on the land down under in no time. And who knows, you might just decide to stay for good.